What's up you guys, welcome back to another Commander video. This time I would like to do something I haven't done before ever. I'm going to talk about Precon upgrades. I'm going to go over what I believe to be the 10 best cards that you can upgrade your Planar Portal Precon Commander deck with. But before I get into the video, first I would like to remind you that most of you who are watching are not actually subscribed to the channel, so I would really appreciate it if you took a second to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now, for the sake of consistency, the 10 cards in here are going to be centered around synergizing with Prosper Tome Bound as the commander. And that's just because most of the cards in the Precon deck are about either exiling cards and playing them from exile, or taking advantage of treasure tokens. Karazakar is a pretty cool commander if you like a goad strategy, but there just wasn't enough in here to really focus around that commander. So the first card here, number 10, is Revel and Riches. A pretty obvious upgrade in a treasure-focused deck, any kind of deck where your commander can provide you with a ton of treasure tokens. It's a straightforward one-card win con if they can't stop you from gathering the 10 required treasure tokens, or they can't remove this card in time. You will just win the game. And it goes beyond that because I don't usually feel comfortable with those enchantment win cons where you just win at your upkeep. I think there's a lot of risk involved there if that's your only way of winning. This does provide you with more treasure tokens if your opponent's creatures die. So that's really the biggest upside here with Revel and Riches, outside of just the obvious win con. And then number 9 here we have Mayhem Devil. Now Mayhem Devil kind of is lumped in with some other cards. Nadir's Nightblade, Disciple of the Vault. There are a lot of cards that are going to deal damage to your opponents, force them to lose life, etc. I think Mayhem Devil though is the best because it's going to work whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, period. So it could be fetch lands, it could be anything like that. So Mayhem Devil is really what you want to use in any kind of treasure-focused stack in black and red, seeing as you're going to be spending a lot of those treasure tokens for mana. And then number 8 we have Opposition Agent, a nod to Praetor's Grasp, but Praetor's Grasp is really a one-time use. Opposition Agent is the new card from Commander Legends that you can flash into play to steal something that your opponents are wanting to tutor, or not really steal because you get to search the card anyway. And like Praetor's Grasp, it's exiled and you get to play it from exile. The whole purpose around that kind of ability is that you can benefit off of Prosper Tome Bound, get yourself a treasure token whenever you cast something from exile. But you're not just casting anything from exile, you're stealing it from your opponents. And then number 7 here we have Dockside Extortionist. A little bit pricey, which is why it's not higher up. I think if you're looking to upgrade a Precon deck, you're going to want something that's affordable first. Downside with this card is that it's only been printed one time in a Precon deck a couple years ago. That being said, if you can afford it, absolutely 100% put it in here. It is one of the best value cards in the game. 2 mana on a creature ETB to get a ton of treasure tokens is ridiculous. And that's really the only purpose it needs to serve, is getting you those treasure tokens. And number 6, you get a ton of advantage off of this creature, Burghy, God of Storytelling. Similarly, you want that mana advantage, you want to get a red mana each time you cast a spell. It does interact well with our commander because we're also getting treasure tokens. When we cast from exile, we're also getting 1 red mana off of Burghy. Difference between this kind of mana and Dockside Extortionist giving you a ton of treasure tokens is that Burghy is way cheaper. And I think an overall better inclusion if you're just looking to quickly upgrade a commander Precon. And then number 5 we have Valky, God of Lies, and Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. Really all about Tibalt Cosmic Imposter, so let's focus on that. All of these abilities exile. I think that's incredible. You have exile removal, you have a way to deal with graveyards with that alt. You even get a little bit of red mana for doing it. But the static ability on this Planeswalker of being able to play those cards from exile is just going to synergize even more with Prosper. So you'll continue to get a treasure token each time you cast from exile. Kind of like with Opposition Agent, you get the benefit off of your commander while also just stealing cards from your opponents. Seeing as this is only playable in a black and red deck, it really has a home in this Precon. It's like it was intended back in Kaldheim for the future of Commander Precons. And then number 4 we have Goldspan Dragon. Speaking of another good card from Kaldheim, Goldspan Dragon was meant for treasure-focused decks. This is all about exiling cards and playing cards from exile, and also getting treasure tokens and synergizing with those treasure tokens. Goldspan Dragon is pretty much a treasure doubler. Or not really a treasure doubler, but you know what I mean. You sacrifice a treasure, you get twice the mana. It also helps that whenever it attacks or becomes the target of a spell, you get a treasure token. So all around, if your deck synergizes with treasures in any way, you get yourself a Goldspan Dragon because you will never regret it. It is a bit pricier, kind of like Dockside Extortionist, but it does offer you a lot more, I think. Mid to late game, it's all about just benefiting off of your core strategy. And then number 3, we have Jeska's Will. Talk about another good red card in here that's all about synergizing with our core strategy. You have 2 modes here. You can add a red mana for each card in target opponent's hand, or you get to exile the top 3 cards of your library and play them this turn. But if you have your commander, you get to do both. You get to choose both modes, which is always great. Means that it practically pays for itself, and it will also help to speed up your deck. And then number 2, we have ubermask. Part of what makes a good precon upgrade is that it plays to the strengths of your commander of choice. Ubermask is all about exiling. Everyone has to exile the cards that they draw. Each player may play cards they remove from the game with ubermask this turn, but only that turn. So it does kind of create more of a chaotic game, and where you're only really able to play those cards once you get them there in exile at first, and they're pretty much lost to exile if you choose to never play them that turn. The benefit here is that is all you want to do with your commander in Prosper Tome Bound. We have a lot of spells here that'll let you play a couple cards from exile. We have some one-time uses like Jeska's Will, but this is going to stay on the board. It's going to affect more than just you too. If it weren't so difficult to find, only really being printed in Champions of Kamigawa, this might have been the number 1 card to upgrade this precon with. But that spot goes to another great card from Kaldheim, Dream Devourer. For only 2 mana, this Demon Cleric is perfect for this deck. Each non-land card in your hand without foretell has foretell. So similarly to Ubermask, it enables you to play however many cards you want to from exile. Again, what you want out of a precon upgrade is the ability to really enhance the strategy that you decide to go for. The strategy here is pretty straightforward. You want to play as many cards from exile as you can. The more that you're able to do that, the more treasure tokens you're rewarded with. And to get foretell for all of your cards in your hand for only 2 mana on this creature, I think is brilliant. And it's dirt cheap too, so know that one of the best precon upgrades that you can have for this deck isn't going to make you break the bank, just to improve the precon that you paid for. But anyway, let me know what you think about these 10 precon upgrades. Let me know if you like this kind of format where I just talk about the top 10 precon upgrades. I'm most comfortable doing top 10s, that's just me. It allows me to place a certain level of importance on each card as I go through the video. As always, subscribe, like, comment, share, hit that notification bell. Void here signing off. See you all next time.